Hi, this is Dominic Keating. I played Lieutenant Malcolm Reed on Enterprise, as you probably know, and you are listening to the NX 7062 podcast. Enjoy.
Well, hello, and happy Halloween for me and Zod, who decided to join me early, and I've been fighting to get control of my notebook from. Hello, Robert. Happy Halloween. It is a rainy Halloween here on the East Coast. You know what? I'm sure out west there's probably still some trick-or-treaters running around, but here it's gotten quiet, except for right here, right now, with orange all over my lap. Okay, Zod, you can stay if you can chill out and leave me my notebook. All right. He is the quintessential lap cat. Anybody that's following me on socials has seen a couple pictures of him. He is just Mr. Lap Cat, and now that my lap is in the office, he has followed it in here. So I hope you all had plenty of treats and not so many tricks so far on this Halloween. I am so excited. Halloween's actually on a Monday. I mean, it was going to happen eventually, right? And I thought long and hard about whether I wanted to do a costume thing. I actually was thinking I have Supergirl costumes and I have Star Wars costumes, but I just figured the pumpkin carving behind me, and I'm just coming as a podcast host for the evening. I hope all of you are doing well out there. I know I'm doing pretty good in here. So let's get right into everything we're going to talk about. So the first thing is Lower Decks. This past Thursday was the season finale. It was, hey, Lasso, trick or treat to you too. It was the second part of the two-part season finale, I guess. And the main takeaway was everybody turned against Mariner because they thought she had spilled the beans. Oh, somebody else is in here. Hey, Jean. Happy Halloween. Somebody had thought that Mariner had been the one to spill the beans about all the stuff that was going on in the Cerritos. And the irony being, of course, it was all the well-meaning crew members that kind of made the Cerritos look bad unwittingly when Mariner was actually the one that was trying to stand up for her mom. I love the fact that admiral's name, the one that turned against her with the Texas class ship, was what, like Bon Amigo or something, or like Good Friend was like his actual name. And then ironically, of course, he turned out to be not such a good friend. Hello, Faith. Happy Halloween. Happy Halloween, War Dog. Look at all my wonderful people in here. I was hoping for a little treat for you guys in a little bit. I don't know if it's going to happen or not. I might need to stop and do a quick text at some point, but we'll see. I'm going to give it another few minutes. Anyway, so I love that because you know what? I have been where Mariner is, where I've been, accused of things and they weren't true. And there's a lesson to be learned. There's an absolute lesson. There's a big takeaway besides the fact, let's see, what was the one takeaway is that there is nothing that can compare to manned ships. Period. End of sentence. Nothing compares to manned ships. Robots can only, even AI can only do so much. Let's start there. But one of the other big takeaways for me, anyway, there is always a way to approach somebody when you think that they might have done something. When you hear, all right, so there is going to be a treat, and I actually got my answer because they actually got a text from the treat. Anyway, hurry up and get home is all I can say. That's just so funny. Saved me the trouble, and gotta love a smartwatch. Believe it or not, life hack, okay? I have a Samsung watch that does everything. This little guy was $40 on Amazon, and I can customize the watch face. I can't send a text, but I can read them. So it's great. It's absolutely great. So, I mean, I have my Samsung watch, and the battery life on here, because you don't do a bazillion things, the battery life is really good. So I save my Samsung watch for when I really need it. Like when I'm working at a convention, I love having my Samsung watch with me then because it's got way more stuff, except for the fact that it yells at me when I'm not working out. But it's got way more functionality. But just for day to day, all I need to do is know when I get a text and be able to read it. So anyway, life hack, $40 for my everyday watch. And then the really expensive Samsung watch is just waiting for me for when when I need it. Anyway, so back to what I was saying about Mariner. So there are always, you know what, if you think that somebody's done something because like I said, I've been in Mariner's position where somebody's come at me and instead of saying, did you do this? Or I heard from another person, X, Y, and Z, they come at you accusatory. Don't do that. Because I got news for you. I am way more likely to not get defensive and admit what I've done if I have done something. If you come at me with a question instead of an accusation. And I got news for you. The last couple of times it happened, the person came at me with an accusation. They were wrong. I was, bless you. I was literally in Mariner's position. And I can tell you, I felt like doing what she did, which was jumping ship. And if you can go on an Indiana Jones adventure, why the hell not, right? Got that Indiana Jones thing going on. Plus the whole Picard thing, which was great because that was a nice little twist. Because I think the rest of us, like Mariner, we're all like, where's the intrigue? What's she doing wrong? And she wasn't doing anything wrong. Hold on, War Dog. I have a cheap smartwatch that bugs me to drink water. See, I turn all that shit off, to be honest. It does sleep steps. Yeah, see, mine does. You know what? The one thing I really wanted to track was my sleeping. I like when my sleeping gets tracked. I always found that that's kind of cool. It felt like Bashir when he realized Sloane's whole investigation was a hoax. But, so I really felt for Mariner because I've been in that situation. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I have completely been in that situation where it's like, if you're going to accuse me, I'm out. I'm just out because if you're not even going to listen to what I have to say, why am I sticking around? But the fact that she got to turn around and be the hero in the end, I thought was absolutely perfect. Yeah, see, exactly. Sleep tracking is fun. Let's see. I love the fact that this year they fit in way more Enterprise Easter eggs and references, including if you blinked, you missed it. But one of those California classes was from the Mirror Universe. And you know how I knew? Because it had that yellow racing stripe that I absolutely love. Wait, hold on. We're going to switch this. It had that yellow race. I call it a racing stripe. I know that's not what it is, but it had that. It had all this. I use my cursor like you guys can see it. But you can see it right behind me, those yellow markings on the dish. On the saucer section, there was one ship and then it shot and then it went to them really quick. So you knew for a fact that it was Mirror Universe. And then, and I was like, yeah. And I'm pretty sure the only time you ever saw this yellow stripes was in Enterprise. Even though there were other Mirror Universes, I'm pretty sure the only time you saw the yellow stripes was in Enterprise. Well, look who it is. Comic Fu, how are you? Thanks so much for joining us. It is so good to see you. Long time no see. And, all right, Lasso, if you type it, I will post it, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. So go ahead, Lasso, say it, and I'll post it in the chats. And Fu, you should have known this was coming if you show up to any shows where Magic Lasso is floating around. All right. So what else is going on? Okay, so, and Lasso and I have... Uh-oh. There you go. Okay. He did it, Fu. You knew it was happening. Fu was a fairy. And if you want to find out anything about Comic Fu, whether or not he really is a fairy or not, you guys should all follow him on YouTube. He is another comic book guru. He is amazing. The only difference, and Lasso, you know I love you. The only difference between Fu and Lasso is that Fu is actually a Star Trek fan, and Fu has actually been on the show because he can talk about Star Trek in the comics, and I had him on to do Star Trek in comics. So we love you, Fu. Fu didn't show up to Fanboy 2 weeks in a row now. Oh, see, he was saving himself. He didn't go to. He was saving himself for my show. Sorry, Lasso. No, Fu, it is good to see you, and definitely subscribe and follow Comic Fu on YouTube if you have any interest in comics, or if you want to, chat at him about Star Trek. I'm sure he would love that too if you went to one of his shows. So, Domestic, what's up? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Halloween to everybody. So, what else is new? Okay, So, my show a couple weeks ago, the one where I did Let's Play How Many Degrees of Separation one show is from Star Trek, Lasso did not ask me about Wonder Woman because, you know what? People would have expected him to ask me about Wonder Woman. So he went and he tried to get sneaky because he tried Sally Struthers, and that was 1 degree. But then he almost got me on Adrienne Barbeau. But I started thinking, of course, because it's Lasso, it got me thinking about Wonder Woman. And I thought I had found the connection because Gary Berghoff I just saw the Gary Berghoff episode of Wonder Woman. Of course, Gary Berghoff was in MASH. And James Cromwell did an episode of MASH. There you go. Zefram Cochrane himself was in MASH. And I thought, okay, that's not bad. But now we can do exactly one, because I just realized in the episodes that I watched this weekend, thank you, Heroes and Icons, Mark Alaimo, the Gaul we all love to hate, was in a double. It was in a 2-part episode of Wonder Woman. So the minute I saw him, I double checked it on IMDb and I couldn't believe it. But Wonder Woman is only 1 degree of separation from Star Trek, thanks to Mark Alaimo. So I had to throw that out there. So, you know what? I don't know. All right. So I'm gonna. Okay. This was me not necessarily stalling. I was just hoping that I had enough to talk about. Yes, exactly. Gul Dukat himself. Oh, Tribbles. Look at Lasso making the one Star Trek reference he can. I love it. The greatest Gaul of all time. There you go. All right, so we're going to start talking about the Hollywood show. Because I had John Billingsley on last week. Really didn't get to fill you guys in on the Hollywood show, where I actually, for the very first time ever, got to be a booking agent. And being a booking agent is definitely not for the faint of heart, because as much fun as it might look like, because you're getting to hang out with the actors and get all the backstagey stuff, there is a lot of work involved. And I knew that because I talked to a lot of booking agents before I decided to do this. And I'm just really, really... Oh, wait, hold on. Lasso. When Mallow Cup says Gul Dukat, I think he means Gal Gadot. When anybody says Gul Dukat, of course you would see Gal Gadot, and I'm not going to argue with that. I totally respect that. But yeah, being a booking agent's tough. I was really lucky that I'm friends with the actors that I was representing, because there's a big learning curve involved because of the contracts and because of and the other thing that I was very lucky about was that I was dealing with the one and only Barbara Luna. Luna, as she likes to be called. Do not call her Barbara. Learn that one. Luna was actually the liaison between, she basically does the talent. She's the liaison between me and the guy that runs the show, that owns the Hollywood show. Now, you might recognize that name because Barbara Luna was actually in what is my favorite episode of, or one of my favorite episodes of TOS, Mirror Mirror. She played Marlena on Mirror Mirror. And I actually knew her before I knew she was in Mirror Mirror. I knew her from Buck Rogers' 3rd season. She played Corey, the bird woman that got killed in like the second episode. I want to say 1st or 2nd episode of the 3rd season. Don't remember. My sister would know. I don't remember off the bat. She was great. Loved Corey. Corey was a great character. It's a pity she had to die. But she was my liaison, and she was amazing and understanding, and we worked really well together. And actually, I got in on Thursday, and then, I got in very early on Thursday. And by Thursday afternoon, I was sitting having lunch with her, and it was fabulous. And I actually helped her a little bit getting things set up for the show. But she is just a ball of energy. She's amazing. What really cracked me up about Luna was, because I had JG and Bob, and then I had 2 of the, I was supposed to have 3, the last 3 remaining cast members in Land of the Giants. Unfortunately, Stefan Arngrim, ironically, the guy that got me into all of this, had an inner ear infection and could not fly. So he couldn't go from New York to LA. So I had his other 2 castmates with me, Gary Conway and Heather Young. And I had little signs for their tables with their autograph pricing and whatever. And, and then there were the 8x10s, and Gary was bringing a bunch of stuff, but Gary wasn't coming until Friday morning. So, and Bob and JG have a banner. If you've ever seen the two of them together at a convention, it's called a step and repeat. The big banner that they have, it's got the framework, and then it's just a really big Klingon banner with the two of them on it. But that doesn't take that long to set up, and they know how to set up. So Luna and I are talking about, my guys will come early tomorrow, and there won't be a problem, and we don't need to set up early. And she says, what do you mean? How long do you think it's going to take you? I said, maybe an hour. Thinking just to set up, put a couple signs up, and then the Klingons have their thing, but step and repeat doesn't take that long to put together. You do have to put the posts together, but it doesn't take that long. And she's talking about how long it takes to set up her table. I wish I had taken a picture of her table, because she doesn't just have a table. She has 2 tables. Her career has spanned so much, and she has pictures from everything she's done, and rightly so. She's worked with John freaking Wayne. So, yeah, she's going to have pictures from pretty much everything she's ever done, and I think she's written a book, or she's got... So, yeah, I can see, because she's got those, those magazine racks, so she can stack, so she can have 2 rows, because she can't just use a table. She needs rows. I'm like, now I understand why you were mystified, why it was only going to take my people an hour to set up. I totally get it. Oh, Domestic, are you a fan of Heather's? She's amazing. Love her to death. She is awesome. I worked with her all weekend because Gary had help, and then I had the one, and yeah, it did say heater, didn't it? Didn't catch that, Heather. Let's put up yes. Sorry. I know, fingers, right? Yeah, she was amazing. I worked with her the most because everybody else had help. In fact, on Saturday, the one and only Melissa Longo, past and hopefully future guest on this very show, agreed to help me out. So Melissa got to spend her day wrangling Klingons, and I got to spend my day lost in the land of the giants. And Heather was incredibly popular because Heather has not done a show in so long. So somebody came up to her with 26 things to sign because he collected all the other signatures over the years, but he hadn't gotten hers. So he was really, really excited to have her there. My big deal was I am here as a booking agent, but I need to fangirl one time. And I got my chance to fangirl my one time. I met Deidre Hall. And I almost cried. I'm going to be honest. Because I had literally grown up with Deidre Hall since I was 5 years old. She went from being Electra Woman on Electra Woman and Dinah Girl, which was a Sid and Marty Krofft show, to Dr. Marlena Evans on Days of Our Lives. And she has been on Days of Our Lives since mid to late 70s, early 80s. And she's been off and on that show ever since. She is back. She's been back. She has been possessed by the devil twice. So I got to ask her really quick, and she said it's hard work, but she does like it because she gets to not be Dr. Marlena Evans. And, so she gets to play completely against character, which is something, it's just like the mirror universe. You get to do something that's completely opposite of your everyday character, and it's fun to kind of have that breakaway. All right, where is this white coming from? I'm trying to figure out what's not quite working. I know you guys know I'm like completely anal about my background and whether or not it works. I'm making it worse. Okay. I thought I'd figured it out last week. It flickers sometimes on my end, and I really thought that it flickered. I thought I had it because it flickered because the green screen wasn't, smooth enough. I don't know. But let's go back. It is Halloween. And yes, I am completely and totally vamping here because I'm waiting for something to happen and I don't know. All right, so hold on a second. Give me 1 second, guys. See, this is what I love about you guys is that you will sit here and watch me have like resting. I'm on another page and not staring at the camera face. So, all right, let's see if I can get an answer. But like I said, love my $40 smartwatch. There it goes. The other thing I love is that I have a PC program called Phone Link that links specifically so that I can send text messages. Yes, I just texted you. I was vamping until you got here. Yay! Hi, Shuttle Pod Show. Thank you so much for joining me. Because I was talking about the Hollywood show. So I was I was running out of everything else I did at the Hollywood show until you got here. So yay, you're here. I'm so excited. Everybody, it's the Shuttle Pod Show. The one and only Shuttle Pod Show, which we are all big fans of. I just want you guys to know, anybody that, you know. But the other cool thing about the Hollywood show, and the Shuttle Pod Show will tell you, I tried, ideally, I reached out because JG, as we all know, was in Judgment. And he absolutely adores Connor and Dominic. And we would love to see, as he said on my show, as he said on my show, he wanted to be on it. So, of course, being the great booking agent that I am, I reached out to the Shuttle Pod Show, and we wanted to arrange it. But gosh darn it, if that lazy ass Connor Trenier wasn't on, we switched coast. He was hanging out in New York City. Anybody that's following him on Instagram would have seen. He had the nerve to be hanging out in New York City when he should have been in LA, so we could get JG on camera on the Shuttle Pod Show. But the upside is that the secret's going to be out. I'm about to spill the beans. Mark Cartier and Erica LaRose. Erica, you probably know, is the third host of the show. But Mark Cartier, thank you, Kat, whoever just did that. Mark Cartier is the producer of the Shuttle Pod Show. He's the one that actually kind of got the band together to do it. He's known Connor for forever because they worked. He met him at Paramount. See, look at that, multitasking. They worked together at Paramount. And so he's kind of the brains, I guess, behind the Shuttle Pod Show. And they were amazing. And after a bunch of stops and starts, they came in towards the very end of Hollywood show. Erica and Mark showed up. And I had a chance to introduce them to JG and to Bob and to Melissa. And they're going to be, and I hope I'm not spilling the beans too much, but they're going to be expanding the format. So we might be singing a whole bunch of Klingons and really cool stuff. Let's see. What was War Dog asking? Are you guys looking to start doing a live chat alongside the show? Yes, they are. That way we can do, Chat Pack 3.0. I actually mentioned that. Did I not tell you about Chat Pack and Chat Pack? This is the Chat Pack 2.0. The Chat Pack originated with the seventh rule, and and I was talking to Mark and Eric, and I said, you know what, we gotta get the chats going for Shuttle Pod Show. So I am so glad that that's going to be happening because, as you can see, Mark, everybody chats. I chat at them, they chat at me. It's great. It's so much fun, and even when things are taped, you're going to have all the fans are going to love interacting. Half the time I can ignore what's going on over here because everybody's talking to themselves. They're not even talking to me. What other cool stuff can we spill the beans about Shuttle Pod Show while you're here? That's the reason I told them to show up. I was like, oh, well, before I get into Halloween, I asked the Shuttle Pod Show to join us so that we could, pick their brains about everything that's coming up. Everybody's really excited. The new season is going to be starting soon. I know you guys are going to be filming very soon now that Connor's gotten his butt back to LA. Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. Yes, we were talking about live premieres. That was one of the things. Yeah, Fu loves you. We were talking about how to set up a live premiere on YouTube. So that's going to be something new. So the shows are not going to be dropping at midnight anymore. They're going to figure out a schedule every Sunday, I guess, if that's still thanks, War Dog. If that's still going to be your release day, we're going to schedule a time, or I say they're going to schedule a time, and you guys can set up. But that means I expect you all to be there. You're here hearing it first. So you guys, including me, I put it on myself too. So don't make it too early because I sleep in on Sundays. And I guess I'm supposed to say make it after 10 a.m. because I have to watch Wonder Woman on Heroes and Icons. Now I feel like the green screen's going to fall in on me. But so, what else can we spill the beans about, Shuttle Pod Show? Any guess? Oh, they are having a contest. If you've checked them out, morning West Coast time. We'll probably stay Sunday morning West Coast time. That works for me. That's good. Morning West Coast time works for me. Oh shoot! Now I just lost my train of thought. It's the only problem with doing live. See, there are a couple benefits to doing taped, because this would be the point where you would either cut or just have it edited out. Did I see in the Behind the Shuttle Pod episode that your editor's name is Shran? Is that something? I know that it's Shran, and I think it's your editor. Oh yeah, the contest. Thank you. The contest until tomorrow. Okay. So if you head over to any of the Shuttle Pod's socials, they have this really cool silhouette. I mean, obviously they've got silhouettes of Connor and Dominic, but they've got the silhouette of their upcoming guest, and they're taking guesses on who their guest is going to be. I think it's Linda Park. But Mark wouldn't spill the beans. So you're all going to have to, tune in and find out when they announce that. And I thought so. I thought that's what Dominic said. It's somebody, they have somebody on their... It is. I can't believe you guys have an editor named Shran. That is so awesome. That just is so perfect. It's not Jeffrey Combs, though, just in case anybody was going to ask that question. It is so not Jeff Combs. But I had the most fun hanging out with Mark and Erica. Saturday night, we all hung out, and we all hung out with JG and his acting friends that came. It was the perfect way to end Hollywood Show for me, with just the most amazing dinner and amazing conversation and pumpkin martinis. And Gary Conway has a vineyard, so we were sampling some of his wine. It was a great night all around. And yeah, we were picking each other's brains for ideas. No beans. Okay. No beans. Whoever guesses in one try, our first guest for season 2 gets featured on the show. That's the other thing the show's doing this year. There's going to be a lot more, I think, opportunities for fan interaction outside of just, this and that. You guys are going to be running contests, which I think is amazing. Somehow you got Dominic Keating back on social media, which I thought was great. He was back on, if anybody was paying attention. I was, of course, but Dominic's back on social to kind of help boost everything. So you guys all have to pay attention. Follow the Shuttle Pod Show all over the socials, because there's a lot more going on. Season 2 is going to be amazing. They're ramping some stuff up. And they definitely want to hear from you all. So bug them. Live events, live in-person events. Yeah, I'm saving my money. Dom is on as of this weekend. Yeah, I saw that. He is at his, I love his Twitter handle. Actually, it's his social media handle is IDomKnow. So don't follow any of the fake accounts. It's IDomKnow. And then Connor Chenier is easy. It's just Connor Chenier, Shuttle Pod Show. But the other reason that I'm glad you guys are here, and Erica already knows this because we talked today, but if you guys were paying attention to my social media, now we're kind of getting into the theme of the evening, which is Star Trek actors in horror. Last night, I binged 3 movies: Dark Harbor, Cube, and of course, I finished with what else but Hollywood Kills, because no matter what else I am watching over Halloween, Hollywood Kills is an absolute must. Like I've said before, it's a terrible movie, but Dominic's really good. He plays evil. Mark and I had this conversation before too. He plays evil so well that the rest of the movie could suck. He's just really fun to watch, be evil and torture people and say things like "No Dorothy, no Toto," which is like my favorite line in that whole movie. But the coolest thing about Dark Harbor is A, it was Mark's movie, as in Shuttle Pod Show. And B, the thing that I didn't know until I watched it again for the second time last night is Erica is in it. It was so cool. She had a couple scenes with the leading lady, and it is a very good movie. It's a suspense thriller. It creeped me the fuck out the first time I saw it, and even though I knew what was coming, There were certain scenes in it that still creeped me out. Support. You can watch it for free, but I'm going to tell you, support the movie. Go on Amazon and rent it for $3 because that's how you're going to get the HD version, which is what I did last night. Cube is a hint for a guest in the next few weeks. Gee, I wonder who you possibly could be having on your show that was also in Cube. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't think I'm giving anything away if I say that would probably be the one and only Nicole DeBoer. As in Esri Dax, as in the mathematician from the Cube. Cube is really good. I will tell you guys, this is what's really funny is I haven't watched Cube from beginning to end in a while. I actually caught some of it last year when it popped up on TV. Yeah, see, War Dog's going with Nikki. I still need to get Nikki on here. She has a question to answer for Travis, which I'm definitely gonna. I'd already talked to her in Vegas, so I just need to bug her about it. Of course, War Dog, always. So this is what happened last night. I decided, I've seen this movie a million times. Cube. I've seen it, well, not a million. I've seen Cube enough. I'm going to make my dinner and I'm going to watch Cube. And this is technically a spoiler alert for anybody who hasn't seen Cube. But I made a steak salad and I like my steaks rare. And I sit down and I curl up in front of the TV and I start Cube, forgetting that the very first scene is the first victim who jumps into a room and then has razor wire come down and literally cube him and his body slides apart. And I went, this is not the scene to be watching right before I decide to have steak. Rare steak, especially. But I haven't seen 2 yet. I do need to watch 2. I like Cube. Cube is like the precursor to Saw. And what I love about what I love about all 3 of these movies is that there's nothing supernatural about them. It's just people doing evil to other people, which scares me more than the Michael Myerses and the Freddys and the Jason Voorhees. Real people. That's why the Hostel movies have always creeped me out. But like I said, Dark Harbor isn't horror; it's a psychological thriller. But it's still creepy. It's still a good Halloween watch, and of course Connor's in it playing the sheriff. And I know he worked very hard on his Maine accent. And he was also torturing me with pictures of Maine while he was shooting it, which I have told him. Let's see. War Dog, what do you got going on? I would have been chopping on the steak and going great effect. Well, there you go. Like I said, I actually usually don't have a problem with horror, I think, but that's the first time I've ever sat down and watched a body slide apart while I've had rare meat in front of me. So that was just a new experience for me. But no, Dark Harbor's great. It, like I said, it's a psychological thriller, but it's got its creepy moments, and it's got Connor doing the Maine accent. And it has Xander Berkeley in it, and I love Xander Berkeley. Ryan, Magic Lasso's met Xander as well, and he's the one that told me I should go meet him. And I did at a convention here in Jersey, and he's fantastic. He's such a sweetheart. We had a really great conversation. So love Xander Berkeley, and I completely forgot he was in Dark Harbor. But anyway, if you want to go see the third host of the Shuttle Pod show and Connor Trenier, go definitely watch Dark Harbor. Cube, absolutely. And like I said, Hollywood Kills, I know almost all the lines in it. It's not the greatest horror movie in the world, but Dominic just does creepy. It's actually a creepy movie producer. But he does creepy sadistic really well. Yes, see, he did. And and Mark from the Shuttle Pod show knows him too, because he had him play the priest in Dark Harbor. Let's see. Guess who plays the valet in Dark Harbor and bar patron during the lobster scene? Was that you? Because I have to admit, I wasn't paying that much of attention. What was it, you, Mark? Was that you playing it, or did I miss something? And the only thing about that lobster scene is watching Callan eat the lobster. That's so creepy. The way he eats that lobster is so gross. And then he hi, Sheriff, with the claw. Xander's the best. Yeah, Xander is the best. We absolutely, Erica and I had a conversation about him earlier today. She said she had some great conversations with him on set, which is nice to know considering the dick that he played in The Walking Dead. It's always nice to know, obviously you can never really associate an actor with their role, but it's just nice to know how nice they are. Hint. Okay. He produced the movie and produced. Yeah, it was you. Okay, so it was you, Mark. I just missed that. I totally missed that. But sorry. I saw Erica though. I just missed you because sometimes I multitask. So sorry. But you know what? I have the movie for I think another 24 hours. I'll have to go look you up. You should get Xander on this show. If somebody can tell me how Xander is related to Star Trek in any way, I would bug Mark to see if I could get Xander on the show. That's all I'm saying. See, and this is what I'm all about. I'm all about making connections. So this is who I am. This is why I like being a booking agent, because I am just that person that will walk up to anybody and say hi and try and make a connection and what can I do for you? What can we do for each other kind of deal. So let's see. Guest hint. Original series and first 6 movies. That's all you get. That's wait. Is that who that silhouette? Are you trying to tell me that that's who the silhouette is? Somebody from TOS and the first 6 movies? Seriously? So, all right. Tell me if that's what it is, because that's huge. That's so just not where any of us were thinking. Not if it's that woman. Not if it's that woman's silhouette. War dog. I'm trying to figure out what guest hint that is. I know you guys have a ton of guests lined up. No. Like I said, they are branching out. And they are going to do. They're going to start watching episodes. I believe they're going to start talking about episodes, and it's always great to hear about Star Trek episodes from the actors, from the people that made them. So that silhouette is Erica. Okay, all right. So the first guest, the hint at the first big guest, is original series and first 6 movies, and that's all we got. All right. Okay, gotcha now. I'm with you. See, I thought the silhouette had something to do with who the guest was, but the silhouette's Erica. That makes sense. All right, it's all coming together now. Okay, so since this is now, the reason that I like to talk about Star Trek actors in Halloween and horror movies is because I figure most of any of the other podcasts. Oh, okay. Oh, gotcha. All right, so everybody be following them. See, I thought that the Erica thing was the guest thing. All right. See, I am so glad you guys came on the show. I am so glad you guys came on the show. Oh my God, Erica, I love goat cheese. I'm just saying. I just got a text, Erica. Thank you for listening, and I love goat cheese. But the reason that I don't, a lot of podcasts, I feel like if they do Halloween episodes, they always talk about the spooky episodes of Star Trek. I don't want to talk about spooky episodes of Star Trek unless it is Impulse, the 3rd season Enterprise episode where they run across zombie Vulcans. I love that episode so much. So much. Because you get to see Vulcans. One of the things I always loved about Enterprise is seeing Vulcans as in a completely different light than we have ever seen them. I mean, yes, Undiscovered Country. Kim Cattrall played, this Vulcan double agent. Yeah, spoiler alert. Hey, Erica, hi! Everybody, Erica's here. Thanks for joining us. Feta is good. Cheese is good. Just cheese. Monty Python's cheese sketch, everything they name, I would eat. Or, wait. What was that episode of Enterprise where Malcolm and that chick were eating cheese together? There was that episode, and I'm like, I'm like, I could do that. I could just sit and eat cheese, even stinky cheese. I would try it. I'm not saying that I would like it or not, but Samantha Jones. Yes, Samantha Jones was in Star Trek VI Undiscovered Country as a traitorous Vulcan. That was the only time, I think, before Enterprise that we saw anybody being, any hint that Vulcans could be anything but perfect, logical beings. And she even tried to say that what she was doing was logical. So, T'Pol added it. Yes, T'Pol did add. Yes, absolutely. And the whole thing with Vulcans and oh my God, was it Syrnites? That whole thing, Vulcans and the schism. It was great. Friends on the ship. Let's see. Erica says hi to everybody. The aromatics. Yes, the aromatics. Yes, exactly. That's why it was all stinky cheese, because they needed that pungent. Wait, that wasn't. No, it wasn't cogenitor. Was it cogenitor? Because there were a couple of episodes where they ran into new out. Now I'm starting to think it was cogenitor, which isn't bad considering the fact that that episode freaks me out. I yell at the screen every time, Trip, don't do it, even though we all know he's going to do it. Impulse is one of the freakiest. It really is. It's so freaky. The lighting was great for that. All the spooky flickering on the ship. Watching Vulcans descent into madness, showing that they have these vulnerabilities after, all the shows that you see, Vulcans aren't as susceptible to this and Vulcans aren't as susceptible to that. But you finally got to see Vulcans having an issue with something that humans didn't have an issue with, the Trellium-D. And taken to the extreme, you get Vulcan zombies. And I love that. That was really spooky. The episode of TNG that Gates directed, where Barclay turned into a spider and all that was spooky. Blah, blah, blah. But let's get to the Twitter poll. I got 9 votes on my Twitter poll about the aliens had great. Mark, you really should know these episodes better than I do, but okay. One more aliens had gray uniforms. What color uniforms were the cogenitor aliens? I thought they were pretty bland. So the poll, I posted 4 movies. I posted Hellraiser 3, Hellraiser, Reanimator, and Cube. Hi, Linda. Happy Halloween. So I posted 4 with the option for anybody to post their own. I got 9 votes, which split, quote unquote, equally. Everybody got 33%, except nobody cared about Terry Farrell. So I got 33% for Hellraiser, 33% for Cube, and 33% for Reanimator. So that's how that poll went. But there are just so many more. Riff Tracks, the Riff Tracks channel, which I've mentioned before, is basically Mystery Science Theater, except they're not trapped on a spaceship. It's literally just the 3 guys, Mike Nelson and Kevin and Bill, who did the voices for Crow and Tom Servo, and they just sit and riff. And they've been playing, the Riff Tracks channel on my Samsung TV has been playing Night of the Lepus over and over and over again, and that has DeForest Kelley in it. Night of the Lepus is a lot better if you watch it as a Riff Tracks. Do not watch it as a standalone movie. Same thing with Killer Spiders. William Shatner. Much better watching the guys as they riff on it. And of course, all the Star Trek. Of course, there's Star Trek, references, and they're just really funny. So, but in the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers. See, you got Kirk and McCoy doing these cheesy ass 70s horror movies, and then you've got Leonard Nimoy being part of one of the most iconic horror movies, the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers, playing opposite Donald Sutherland. So let's see, Night of the Lepus. was hilarious for the bad effects. Those giant rabbits. It was the see, it was cogenitor. I thought so. It took me a minute, but I remembered spicy foods and they prefer to eat with their noses kind of deal, which is why they were doing the cheeses. But then I also remembered when Trip went to that couple's quarters for dinner, it was the same thing. So that's where I put 2 and 2 together. And I'm like, yeah, it was cogenitor. Yeah, Trip. Oh, don't even get me started. It was also that weird ass soundtrack that played underneath. The other thing about Night of the Lepus, Janet Leigh of Psycho fame was also in Night of the Lepus. But like I said, if you watch the RiffTrax version, it's bloody hysterical. And there's Psycho references and there's Star Trek references and giant bunnies everywhere, and it's really great. It's really great to watch. But like I said, those two did cheesy, and Leonard Nimoy's like, nah, I think I'm just gonna. He was a dick. I mean, he wasn't the nicest character, but come on, Invasion of the Body Snatchers. It's like, oh, Jeff Goldblum too. So look at all those little, degrees of separation from Star Trek because you stuck Leonard Nimoy in that movie. Leonard Nimoy was also in an episode of Becker, which is a complete non sequitur, which was the Ted Danson post-Cheers comedy that Terry Farrell ended up on after DS9. So Leonard was in it. And I only saw a part of that episode recently, so I don't know if there was any sort of, like, don't I know you from somewhere cutesy little Star Trek thing between the two of them. What else? See, and I'm Jeffrey Combs. I need to watch the other Reanimators. There's more than one. I've seen them already. I've talked to Jeff about them. They're so much fun. If you have never seen Reanimator, and believe it or not, one of my buddies, JR, when I posted about that, he said, he's like, Jeff Combs is in that. I said, you literally just found that out? Jeff loved doing it. Yep, Sutherland and Nimoy. Let's see, the original Invasion of the Body Snatchers was 56. Oh, I did not realize that. Thank you, War Dog. I thought 78 was the original. I didn't realize there was a 1956 version. Thank you very much. And yeah, I love Donald Sutherland. Absolutely love Donald Sutherland. He was in the MASH movie. He was Hawkeye in the MASH movie. Like Alan Alda better, but Donald Sutherland was pretty good. See, and that's all like very Star Trek-y because Sally Kellerman, who was in Where No Man Has Gone Before, played Margaret Houlihan in the original MASH movie. Here you go, Shuttlepod. We all love Shuttlepod Show. I am so excited that they dropped by tonight. I don't know if Erica went back to making goat cheese appetizers or whatever she was doing, but Erica, the third co-host of Shuttlepod Show, was here too, Linda. I don't know if she's still here. Or if she went off. She was making me hungry, though, talking about goat cheese. I love goat cheese, and I said it. You know what's really good? Again, complete non sequitur, but this is what Chat Pack 2.0 is. You can find this in goat cheese wrapped in blueberry. Like, blueberry goat cheese is so stinking delicious. If you like goat cheese. Yep, Hot Lips. Hot Lips, yep. I actually met Loretta Swit. She's my Hot Lips. I know Sally Kellerman is iconic, and she was in Star Trek, but I love Loretta Swit as Hot Lips. And let's face it, you had 11 years with her and a 2-hour movie with Sally. Does anyone else watch Svengoolie? They have all the great old months. Yeah, they do. I have. Svengoolie's on MeTV. It's kind of like the same thing as Mystery Science Theater. It's kind of the same premise. And then they cut to him between commercials and stuff. I prefer my boys. Aw, when are we coming over for dinner? Seriously. I've watched Svengoolie. I prefer the Mystery Science Theater guys in RiffTrax. Linda, are you following them on social? Because they are coming back. Nobody knows the dates. I'm not even sure Shuttlepod Show knows the date when they're coming back. And if they do, they're playing it very close to the vest. But they are coming back soon. So keep your eyes peeled on their social media. And this is something else that we talked about. You all know me. I have nothing but love for all the other Star Trek podcasts because I know nobody sits here and does what I do. And I don't expect them to. So why would I do anything but love everybody else who does and support other podcasts? So here I am. You saw Spenguli in person? Seriously? What was he like in person? Let's see. Loretta Swit wanted to star in Cagney and Lacey series. She did the pilot. Oh, wow. Well, that's rude. I mean, I love the Cagney and Lacey that they had, but really? They said no to Loretta Swit. I love that you have all that knowledge. Oh, you don't do Twitter. Do you do Facebook, Linda? Because they're on Facebook, too. We know the day. The date. See, it came out either way. You know the date. When are you going to be sharing that wealth of information, Shuttlepod Show? Everybody is dying to know. Follow the Shuttlepod. They have a Facebook page. You can follow them there. Let's see. You love everyone in the Trekverse podcast world is legendary. Yes, I do. I have nothing but love for all the Star Trek podcasts that are out there because, like I said, nobody does anything that anybody else does. You know, there's so much Trek. Everybody gets to be different with their Trek. So why hate? Why do the hate? There's no reason. Yes, I know. You only do YouTube. Well, then hopefully you've got your notifications set up, War Dog, because Shuttlepod Show is coming back some point on some Sunday very soon with a live premiere so that we can all chat. And I guess, like I said, as long as it's Sunday morning on the West Coast, I mean, even 9 a.m. on the West Coast is noon here. So, I mean, 10 or 10 a.m. on the West Coast would be good. Just saying. Crap, I need to get my pick in my hat. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right, Linda. Perfect. Yes, War Dog, I need to sell hats. So I need you to get me a picture of you in your hat. For anybody that is curious, because, I might as well do this shout out now. Where is it? There we go. War Dog got a really cool NX7062 hat from punkarmy.net, which is Raymond Lister. He is a very good friend of mine. He does all of Pop Culture Hero Coalition's merchandise. He did this shirt for me. This is a one-off that I asked him to do for me because I could not find my other podcast shirt. And I said, I need a podcast shirt for at least one day in Vegas. So he made this all sparkly for me. So there we go. So yeah, once we get the picture, you guys can all get your very own hats at punkarmy.net. And I still have my Teespring store too. If anybody wants to get something like the tank top, my other tank top, which is my logo, or because it's getting cold, there's everything. Every little piece of merchandise I could think of is at my Teespring store. So you guys can head on over to Teespring and get that. It's my pleasure to be a fan. Yeah, Shuttlepod Show is great. Those guys are great. It's so much fun to watch their friendship, like up on the screen outside of the Malcolm Trip dynamic. Dominic and Connor have a great dynamic as well. If you've ever seen them in person at a convention, if you've ever seen them host karaoke, they do. They really have a great chemistry together. And Erica is such a fun addition. Reading, trying to, rein them in every now and then when they try and get a little off topic or when they start to wander off topic too much. And read them their fan questions because, there's always some fan questions. I still have questions for them. I have fan questions for them, by the way, I have promised for 2 years to try and get them to answer questions that people submitted to me that I couldn't get answered in Vegas. So let's see. 9 a.m. Sunday on the West Coast is the 7th rule. Okay, so shuttle pod show. Please take that into account. That works for me. Don't do 9 a.m. because you're going to bump up against the 7th rule. Oh, there's a really good question. How's the avocado plant doing? It's an avocado plant, right? I'm pretty sure. I have a terrible memory. So that's a good question. Yes, she absolutely is. And she's so much fun. And she likes cats. She and I talk about cats, so that's a good thing. Yes, Connor and Dominic do great karaoke. Unfortunately, I did not get to sing with them this year, but it's only an hour long. So hopefully when we're all back at the Rio and we have the big old stage, hopefully we'll all get more time. So I want to know who was taking, I'm assuming Erica was taking care of the plant. Wash, that's right. His name was Wash. Oh, well, that's good. That's good to know that he didn't kill Wash. I forgot his name was Wash. I love that. I love that. So he gets a gold star for taking good care of Wash then while you guys were all on a break. So everybody, I'm sure, is obviously looking forward to everybody's looking forward to seeing Wash as well. I'm sure. So let's see here. I hope he keeps Wash away from pointy things. Oh, okay, is that our mission to get War Dog to Vegas? Is that the mission? We need to get War Dog to Vegas. Okay, War Dog, come to Vegas. It's an amazing time. I actually just booked my room today. I know we're not really talking very much Halloween, but I mean, let's see. I talked about Reanimator. I talked about Hollywood Kills, Cube. I need to watch Cube 2, even though Nikki's not in it. I need to catch up. I've watched the other Reanimators, but I really probably should watch them again. Oh, that was the other thing. Hollywood Show. There is a one-armed actor, and I am terrible with names, but he's been a Borg, and he was one of the corpses in Reanimator. He was actually the corpse that killed the girlfriend in the elevator towards the end of the movie, and he had an arm, but he really doesn't. He doesn't have an arm. So when they chopped his arm off, that really was like the whole thing was a prosthetic, and when it came off, that was it. It was actually, they actually got to chop his arm off. That's what he does. He plays beings that think that, need to not have an arm. And I thought that was so cool. One of these days I'll make my presence in Vegas happen. You really do need to. It's absolutely, absolutely amazing experience. Even though they cut it down by a day, it's only going to be 4 days this year, but we will all make the best of them. I am celebrating my birthday again in Vegas. Like I said, I just made my reservations. I go out early every year, and my birthday, for those of you that don't know, is August 1st. And since the convention starts on the 3rd, I'm going to be out there the weekend before, so my birthday will be once again in Vegas. I missed it for COVID. And then because it was on the weekend before, I missed it. Oh, right, because they pushed it. Because the year they came back from COVID, they pushed it to the middle of the month. And then this year was at the end of the month. So they finally got it back to the beginning of August. So I'm finally going to get to do my birthday in Vegas again. Oh, well, that's great. Well, then you'll definitely have to come. I'm so glad that you're coming to 2023. And I'm kind of glad that you missed 2022 because it definitely didn't have the same feel as the rest of them. So it'll be great to see you, Linda. Come on out. Hopefully, again, I'll be involved on some level with the Nubian Solo Travelers meetup. And you know what? It's technically for Nubian Solo Travelers to find a place, but veterans And people that aren't solo travelers are always welcome. So that's a great way to kick off. It always happens the night before. I know we're trying to talk Shuttlepod Show into coming out and making an appearance in Vegas. Hopefully Erica will come out. That would be awesome. Have so much fun. I don't know if she sings. Obviously, she's a really great actress, but I don't know if she sings. But if she sings, then maybe the guys will get her up for some karaoke. As long as she doesn't take my turn. That's my only rule. Don't take my turn. They owe me because I didn't sing this year. But like I said, it was only an hour. So, all right. Well, does anybody have any final Halloween thoughts for the year? Tony Fett. Happy Spooky Day. Always good to see you. Love how you just slide in. You know, you slide in right in time to say hi, right before I say bye. But I am so glad that you're here. You'll just have to do a rewatch from the beginning. All right, now what? Let's see. Let's see. Domestic. Very much looking forward to STLV being back at the Rio. The last year was a bit crowded. Yeah. Let's see. Vegas will be rad. That's my big question for you guys. You need to come to Vegas. We need to make that happen. Anything I can do to help make that happen. I won't be too shy to talk to the Shuttlepod Show this time. Stephanie, I've talked to you at the Lambda Quadrant table. Linda, I owe you an apology then, because I am so bad with names and I talk to so many people at the table that I don't remember. So you will have to come up and just smack me in the face and be like, remember me this time. I am so sorry because I'm terrible. I'm terrible with names. I'm terrible. I can barely remember, who I met this year. So I'm so sorry. I beg, absolutely beg your forgiveness. Let's see. Anyone who hasn't seen Cube, it's worth a watch. Absolutely. Hollywood Kills is absolutely worth a watch. Dark Harbor is worth a watch. And I am not just trying to, kiss up to Mark. Mark already knows how I feel about Dark Harbor. Oh, no, that's just me. Don't be like that. That's just me. I'm terrible. I admit. I am absolutely. It took me. I met a friend at Luna's in the Hollywood show, and it took me 3 days to get his name right. So yeah, that's I take full responsibility for that. Okay, so Shuttlepod Show. You guys have any final questions for Shuttlepod Show? Let's see. So you're not releasing the date. You gave us a big hint about who your guest is going to be. Can't wait to see that silhouette. But all 6 movies, that really doesn't leave. I mean, that's a pretty narrow field. Robert Plant. Oh, that's right. Rhode Island Comic-Con next Monday. We will see you all in 2 weeks. Speaking of next week, and I just confirmed today. Now, this is a week from now. So we'll have to. Oh, there you go, War Dog. And you know what? These chats are saved. So Linda, you've got written proof that War Dog owes you a hug. As of right now, next week, my very special guest, right here on this show, and get your questions ready. You have a week to do it. Rod Roddenberry. Rod Roddenberry himself, son of the great bird of the galaxy, will be joining me to talk about his father's legacy. We'll probably talk about some Orville, maybe some of the cool behind-the-scenes stuff that he experienced being on the set of TNG. Robert, drive safely. You have already messaged me your question for Rod because I talked about this a little while ago. I have a backup date for him if he does have to, if his schedule changes and he can't make it next week. But as of right now, he is going to be here. Rod is a fabulous dude. Love Rod. I hit him up at John Billingsley's cocktail party, which is where he gave me his email address. So I totally hit him up at Rod's at the cocktail party for Trek Talks 2, because I will always shoot my shot, and that's actually the second time that we chatted. So he will be here to talk, like I said, talk about Star Trek philosophy. You are not allowed to ask him questions about anything that's not already out. What he knows or doesn't know, he's not allowed to talk about anything that's not already on the screen. So don't try and get him to spill the beans on anything. He's going to be as tight-lipped as the Shuttlepod show is about their secret guest who's coming up, or their release date for when they're having their latest thing. But I think, like I said, I invited Shuttlepod show here tonight because I wanted to pick their brains. Let's see. Oh, thanks. I try. Anyway, I always believe in shooting your shot if you get your opportunity. But no, I invited Shuttlepod show here because they're awesome. Because we've been talking, and because I am just as excited as you guys are. I mean, this is great. I love talking to you guys on Mondays, but y'all know I do tend to pop in on some Seventh Rule stuff every now and then. I like to be on the other side of things. And when it comes to the Shuttlepod show, I really love being on the other side of things. I'd love to see more behind the scenes stuff, Shuttlepod show. I did watch Behind the Pod, which was great with the outtakes and the stuff that never made it to air. But I really can't wait for this new season because I know you guys are really ramping it up and you're expanding your format. And there's a lot of changes coming. Like I said, I don't want to spill any beans on anything else that we've talked about, but I do know some things that are coming up and I'm really excited. So I really encourage you guys, if you aren't already, to please, thank you, Domestic. That's so sweet. So I really encourage you guys not only to keep, hanging out with me because I love all of you, but please do support, and I know Chat Pack, how much you guys support Ryan and Sirach over at the Seventh Rule, and they have my heart. I love them all, and Melissa and Mohammed and Anne Marie and all those amazing people over at the Seventh Rule. And like I said, Shuttlepod show, you guys are still kind of the new kids on the block. Which I love because you're growing and you're changing and we're right there with you for the ride. Oh, yay, more behind the scenes. Yay. This is only your second season. I mean, technically I'm actually older than you guys. I've been doing this longer than you guys have. Not that you guys don't have way more experience in front of a camera than I do, but there you go. That would be awesome. A documentary on being a Star Trek alum. Let's see. I love how deep Shuttlepod digs into the interviews, especially love the ones with Rick Berman. Yes, they do go deep. War Dog, love to see you on the Lappy Awards and you'd be a great presenter. Oh, thank you. As long as Enterprise was in whatever, thank you so much. But whatever, as long as Enterprise was in whatever awards column they had, I would absolutely. But don't talk to me. Go bug Ryan about it and see what, or, just, keep chatting at it, maybe make it a hashtag NX7062 on the Lappies. I would love to see that. Make that happen. But yeah, there's a lot coming, I just love being here and hanging out with you guys. And I love it when I have interviews and let's see, Shuttlepod one day 20. Oh, here we go. Shuttlepod one day 20 is a live event in Los Angeles, California. That's right. And there's even bigger details on that to come. I know what it is. No, it's going to be amazing. So you guys really need to keep your eyes peeled for that one because it's going to be freaking awesome. I promise. I didn't think you were going to say anything about it, Shuttlepod show. So now I'm just gonna, no, I know what it is, and it's going to be amazing. They're, like I said, Shuttlepod, you guys are totally up in your game, and I absolutely love it. Can't wait for it to drop. I do have one teeny tiny favor to ask the Shuttlepod show. Like I said, I've got 2-year-old questions. Nah, actually, I'm exaggerating. I've got year-old questions to ask them. Good questions for Connor and Dominic. And I would love to know if, in the spirit of podcast love and camaraderie if the guys would consider jumping onto the other side of the microphone for a little while and consenting to being interviewed. I talked to Connor about it. We just never connected on having them on the show. It's the wine. So you're gonna regret spilling even those little beans in the morning? I don't think so. I think this is great. Because my people, get this, you guys are literally the first people to hear that they're planning a big event for Shuttle Pod One Day in 2023. I'm actually already making plans for it because, like I said, I know what it's going to be. But since there's some wine involved, their Shuttle Pod show, maybe I could get you to ask the guys if they'd consider being interviewed one more time, just on here, just for one show. It would make my people so very happy, and share the love, and just figured, like War Dog said, I'm totally fearless, so I'm asking live. I'm asking Shuttle Pod Show to ask the guys to come on the NX01 NX7062 podcast. That's all. But you guys heard it first. Again, follow them. Follow Dominic now that he's back on Twitter. Follow Connor. They're also on the Insta. They're everywhere. They're Insta, Twitter, and Facebook. And so follow them for more details, because I know that the Shuttle Pod thing next year, you're probably going to hear news about that semi-soon. So just keep your eyes and ears open. Yeah, I think they should come on next week when I'm talking to Rod, because, like I said, if you guys are looking for guests, I've got Rod. Let's see, he'll come here and he can do the show with the other guys. Who knows? Anyway, guys, I am by myself, and I took it overtime. Let's see. Maybe we can do a joint show. I'll pitch the team. I would love that. I would absolutely love that. I'm in. I'm down. Let's do it. Maybe I'll even wear my Connor Trenier shirt, because I actually do have one. I got it ironically, but I do actually have a Connor Trenier shirt. Chip Tucker. They don't make a Malcolm Reed. I couldn't even be fair. I couldn't get both. They don't make a Malcolm Reed shirt. They make everybody else. This is my problem. This is totally my problem. Malcolm Reed gets no love. He's lucky that they made a Fansets pin of him, which somebody gave me. But when it comes to shirts and everything else, you can't find Malcolm Reed anywhere. I feel like you'd be more likely to find Porthos stuff sometimes than Malcolm Reed stuff. I just think it's so unfair that because there's a Flock shirt, an Archer shirt, a T'Pol shirt, a Trip shirt. So no, Malcolm and Hoshi and Mayweather got no love in the solo t-shirt department, and I think that's so unfair, because they were all part of the bridge. I don't see why people have to do that. And by the way, all of those shirts they're actually really fun to find on eBay. If you type in Star Trek Enterprise or NX01 on eBay, you find way more shit than you will ever find anywhere. Even the Star Trek shop is light compared to what you can find on eBay. Because probably what happened is that when the show first hit, there was this run on all this merch, and then now the only way to find it is through eBay, because Star Trek, it was only on 4 years, so Paramount didn't keep it hanging around. But yeah, you can find a lot of really cool Enterprise stuff on eBay. And in fact, the last shirt that I got off of eBay, which has everybody on it, it's really cool. I'll dig it up. I'll wear it some night. It's a really cool shirt, and they were asking $25, and I'm like 15, and I got it because it was a make an offer thing. So we're in the episode department. All right, Linda, sorry I lost all right, so moral of the story: Star Trek actors in horror movies is very cool. Even though, and the bad ones, you just have to watch them on Riff Tracks. Species 4. Dominic was in Species 4. And I like watching that one because there's continuity issues that I like pointing out. That's right. They have a Trips Not Dead shirt on their website. They have merch. Go to shuttlepodshow.com. Check out their merch. And that is my favorite thing on your entire website is Trips Not Dead. And I know we also talked about merch, so there could be some really cool new merch in the future, but definitely get your hands on a Trips Not Dead shirt, especially thanks to that episode of Lower Decks that made faking somebody's death a Section 31 canon thing now, which we all know the only other place that they mentioned it was in the novels with Trip. So it is now canon because it's been on Lower Decks. That is something else I have no fear. I will tweet at Mike McMahon and see if I can get him on the show. Everybody needs that shirt. Like I said, head over to shuttlepodshow.com and hit their shop, and that is where you will find it. I just found a single taken mentally dating Malcolm Reed t-shirt. You totally need to send me the link to that, War Dog. I need that to balance out my Trip shirt. Connor is amazing in Dark Harbor, and he worked so hard on that Maine accent. And if I am not mistaken, a Maine native told him he did a great job. We spent weeks on his accent. Yep, there you go. He worked very hard on it, and it came out great. It came out great. Him and Fred Gwynn in Pet Sematary, great Maine accents. Great Maine. There you go. Star Trek Actors in Horror, Denise Crosby. Pet Sematary, the original Pet Sematary, not the stupid ass remake where they kill the wrong kid. The original based on the actual novel. Denise Crosby was in it. Fred Gwynn was the neighbor. Perfect Maine accent. Loved the kid because the kid, after he turned into a little undead zombie thing because of the Micmac Indian burial ground where he was adorable. TV show tease. All right. Thank you, War Dog. Domestic. I'm buying an Enterprise lithograph with all the signatures from Lightspeed. I have it paid. Oh, that's amazing. I love Lightspeed lithographs. I finally got the poster version of Death Star Rising because that's all I could afford. We lived in a haunted house on the island. That's fucking amazing. That is something Connor has not told me. I talked to him about it on the cruise a little bit. I did not hear that part. That's amazing. Why didn't you say that 45 minutes ago? We could have had an entire Halloween podcast based on the haunted house on the island. And did you experience anything? We still have time. I don't have to end the show right now. Did you ghosts, noises, things falling over? Anything interesting happen in the house? I had a cat I named Church because he was a possessed little demon. There you go. That Church in the movie reminded me of my neighbor's cat when I was growing up. They had a I think that was a British Shorthair, but that gray puffball. There was one that lived next door to us. She was great. I loved that cat. She was awesome. But yeah, the kid at the end where he's like, I played with mommy, I played with Judd, now I'm going to play with you. That kid was so good. I liked him better as the zombie than I did when he was alive. And I read the book, and I still couldn't watch that. I couldn't watch the whole thing with oh my God. That's what I love about Stephen King. It's one of the things I love about Stephen King novels is that you just nobody is safe in a Stephen King novel. Oh my God, it's the wine. What time is it there? It's not even that late there. What is it after? It's just after 8. It's wine o'clock somewhere, and I guess it's 1 o'clock out in LA. So yeah, Shuttlepod Show, you have to get liquored up and come hang out with us way, 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 way more often. I have a well in my cellar. Gary Conway was supposed to, his Merlot was really good. He's supposed to, I need to talk to him about getting a bottle. A girl was in the end of the bed, didn't sleep for days, kids talking outside their windows at night. It was October in 2018. Whoa. Whoa. See, you guys should do a show just about that. Fall evening, cool wind. Yeah, yeah. And the stupid pictures. Those stupid. Anybody go if you go onto Connor's Instagram page and scroll back to like 2018, I guess. He's got these gorgeous pictures of the island where they filmed Dark Harbor. And it made me miss New England so much. I hated him for that. And I told him as much when I saw him on the cruise in 2019. I'm like, dude, could kill you for those pictures. And then Mark told me that all these gorgeous shots in the movie, they did this all with drones. And it's so amazing to watch these drone flyovers and how gorgeous all the island was in the movie. Let's see. What did War Dog have to say? Here we go. Sorry. This is what everybody's talking about. Oh, that is neat. That is so neat. When I was growing up, my neighbors around the corner used to do a haunted house in their garage, which was pretty cool, but nothing would be as cool as to walk through a basement in a 120-year-old house. That's amazing. You could do a total Evil Dead thing with blood just pouring out of piping and stuff. That would be so awesome. But I've never been to a haunted house. I have friends in Central PA that used to do like the ghost chasing thing. I don't know if they still do. I always thought that was really cool. And Central PA is just full to the brim of all that great old spooky stuff. I don't know if anybody's ever been to Central Pennsylvania, but it can be very spooky. In fact, my friend once had a Halloween party out in the woods and my GPS crapped out. And it was just, I'm like, I had to call him. I'm like, if you want me to come to your party in the woods, you have to come down and get me because I am not driving my car around in the woods when I don't know where I'm going and I have no GPS. And he did. He came down and got me and we went to go into the party and he opened the door, or his friend opened the door, and he was dressed like, I don't remember if it was supposed to be Jason Voorhees from Friday the 13th Part 2 before he put the hockey mask on, or if it was those other bad guys from that one movie that I can't remember the name of now. Robert Plant, the original Ghost Hunters were from Rhode Island. There was Paranormal State. That might be true, but Paranormal State was actually Penn State students. Go my alma mater. Go PSU. There you go. There you go. Central PA, State College, right in the middle. Home of the Penn State Nittany Lions, my alma mater. Let's see. Lasso, there's a haunted sanitarium in Missouri that's supposed to be the most haunted location in the U.S. Did not know that. That is so freaking awesome. The question is, I'm sitting here saying all this sounds really cool, but the question comes down to would I actually have the balls to walk into a place like that? Let alone sleep in a place like that on an island in the middle of Maine. Because you're on an island, so it's like, where are you going to go? I mean, there's no ferry, I assume, in the middle of the night if you need to get back to the mainland because you had your bejeebies scared out of you. So, okay. So once again, first of all, now War Dog, I got to remember where you said that t-shirt was. What was it? Because I am literally TV show tees. Okay, I am literally, while we're sitting here, I'm writing this down because I am seriously going to get done here and go order one. If my pen would work. Shit. All right, TV show tees. I've seen it. I've seen it for Trip. I have never seen it for Malcolm. So I'm definitely gonna have to get that one, like I said, to balance out the fact that I have a Trip Tucker shirt that I used to sleep. Let's see. Go Big Ten. Aw, yes, exactly. Go Big Ten. Although they've lost the last two. Penn State's actually lost the last two football games, but that's okay. They haven't been the same since Joe Pa. So let's see. Now that we're pushing up to an hour and a half, this is so much fun. I love hanging out with you guys so much, as you all know. So I think Shuttlepod Show, we've covered everything that needs to be covered. And thanks to your wine and cheese that you guys have been doing, I got an exclusive, which is there are big happenings happening next year for Shuttlepod One Day. If you all remember last year, we got that wonderful table read of the full script. from the guys and Gary Graham playing Archer, which was great because there was stuff in the script that never made it to the screen because there's a thing called editing. So that was last year. So I guess we're looking at Shuttle Pod one day becoming a tradition, which is awesome. And keep your ears and eyes peeled for that. Hopefully I will be seeing you all in the live chat when the show premieres, whatever that is. But you guys who are following me, be sure, because you know what? If you haven't noticed, I've been sharing a lot of the Shuttle Pod show's socials. So follow them, follow me, and one way or the other, you are absolutely going to find out what's going on with the Shuttle Pod show. So thank you, Shuttle Pod show, for coming and hanging out with us tonight. I know you guys, you were a little late, but that's okay. You're forgiven for being late. Thanks for updating me. They were the treat, by the way. They're the ones that texted me because I was waiting for them to show up. Live anniversary event. Yep. I'm not kidding. I'm looking at plane tickets. Erica knows. Anyway, guys, thank you as always so much. Think of all the amazing questions you want to ask Rod Roddenberry. But like I said, it can't be about anything that's not happening, nothing that's not on screen yet. And don't ask him about his dads and the philosophies and ask him about his mom. I mean, come on, Majel Barrett. This is going to be an amazing chance to pick the brain of Rod Roddenberry, Wesley Crusher's namesake. So I know, Robert, safe travels, and you'll rewatch it and you'll hopefully see a great answer to your question. I'm looking forward to seeing all of you next week. All the love to Chat Pack 2.0, and let's create Chat Pack 3.0 when the Shuttle Pod show premieres, whenever that date is, because that's something, I guess, not enough wine yet for them to reveal. So that's okay. You got to keep something under your hat. And here we go, everybody. I will see you next week. Thank you all for tuning in. And until next week, remember to live long and prosper.
Hey, this is Connor Turner. You've been listening to the NX7062 podcast with Stephanie. Enjoy your evening.